Hi guys, this is Bruce Rainey and this is the Build Baby Build Show. Welcome back. I've been gone for a little while doing some training. Some of you don't know that I am also a one-on-one real estate coach. I do some public speaking and do some training. So from time to time I will be AWOL while I'm out doing trainings. Anyway, I am back. The good news is we have lots of questions that have been asked since the last time I was on, and there's going to be plenty of content for us to get into. So, as usual, guys, if you have any questions, just hit me up at askbruceaquestion@gmail.com. We try and keep it simple. If you've got a real estate question, happy to help. What are we building in this show, guys? We are building you, we're building your business. We are building your real estate portfolio. My goal here is to help you answer questions, break down any of the barriers or walls you might have to investing in real estate. Now, my primary focus is commercial real estate, so that's where I will spend most of my time. But if I have any one message I want to get to you, if you are interested in real estate, the number one thing you can do is do a deal in real estate. Guys, it's not for everybody. It's not for the meek. It is not for folks who want anything that is easy and risk-free. But I'll tell you, they're great rewards if you can buy real estate, keep real estate, hold real estate. It will, over a period of time, appreciate in value, being worth a lot more than what it was when you originally purchased it. You're going to be very hard-pressed to go find a piece of real estate today that's worth less than it was 20 years ago. 15 years ago, 5 years ago, short of some sort of horrible disaster. Okay, I know there are pieces of property that probably are worth less, but there's not a lot of them out there. So anyway, with that said, part of my coaching and an interaction I had actually early on was with somebody who is very risk adverse. And I had a question come up while I was gone. So the question is, what are the potential risks and challenges with investing in real estate? And guys, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not going to try and talk you out of the risk. There's a lot of risks. There are a lot of challenges. This isn't something that you go into without understanding there's risk. There's a lot you can do to qualify and minimize risk. But at the end of the day, you are relying on other people to perform. What do I mean? I buy real estate that I rent out to other people. Now that's great. I can get the best lease in the world. I can get every I dotted and T crossed and everything looks great. And man, I'm happy. It's a 5-year lease. It's a 7-year lease. It's a 10-year lease. Gosh, I got it locked in. And let me tell you, even with that, there's risk. I've got plenty of ways to litigate and sue somebody. Well, what if they die? What if they die? In some businesses, the business goes away when something like that happens. Death, disease, divorce can blow up a very successful business just like that. Am I going to get into a lawsuit with the family of somebody who's just passed away? Probably not, especially if the business collapses. Guys, those are things that happen. What are what I would call normal risks? Cash flow. So you've done some modeling, you've done some underwriting, and you say, hey, I'm going to buy at X, I'm going to rent at X, and I'm going to take this delta, and that's what I'm going to make. It's possible that you analyzed incorrectly, and now your cash flow and your outflow aren't where you thought they'd be. It's a risk. It could happen. Timing. So sometimes it's just a matter of time. You've done a model and you say, hey, I'm going to make these changes, I'm going to do these things, and in 6 months, I'm going to get the cash flow where I want it to be. So you plan for that 6-month gap. Well, what if the timing doesn't work? What if it takes you 18 months to achieve the same thing? Where does that extra year's worth of loss of income come from? So again, timing can be an issue for you. Obviously, you have to have accurate data. If you can build the best pro formas in the world. They can be beautiful. You can just have all the colors and lines and everything. But if the data going into that spreadsheet comes out inaccurate or goes in inaccurate, you're going to potentially have some issues. I've made a little list here. So disasters happen. Buildings burn, flood, tenants leave in the middle of the night. Guys, I've had tenants just vanish. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time and money chasing them down and looking for income, or you can try and get back and rent things out. Also, you can get sued. This hasn't happened, and I don't want it to happen to anybody that's listening to this, so you're all free from this. And there are people that will sue you. They don't like something. They want to get out of something. They think somehow you've been somehow dishonest with them. And, a lawsuit can happen. Guys, I've been pulled into lawsuits between properties on the other sides of properties I'm not even touching, just because they wanted to suck as many people into the lawsuit as they could to try and get money. Sadly, they got some money out of my insurance company. So you just don't know. In the world of commercial real estate, you've got people using your parking lots. There's always a risk of collisions, of wrecks, of people tripping and falling, you name it. You have insurance for these things. You have insurance to protect you. But there's still an amount of stress and drama and consumption of your energy that goes into that. All of those things are risks. Those are challenges. That's where good, accurate underwriting, understanding your market, making sure you've got great partners that know what they're doing. So when you do get data and you put it into that spreadsheet and you underwrite that project, you're confident that you are going to hit your numbers or exceed your numbers. When I pro forma a project, sure, I do pro forma and say, if everything goes great, what's it look like? I like to look at that. I like to know what that's going to be. That's a stretch. That's where could we possibly get it if everything goes perfect? Where do I think it's really going to be with relative comfort? And then what's my worst case scenario? Where's the point where this thing isn't viable? I want a gap in between all of those, right? If everything goes wrong, where is it a no for me? And if that no is too close to what I think is reality, that's the risk I have to assess. So when you're talking about risks, you want to spread that gap from that worst case scenario to your most likely scenario. You want that as far as you can get it. You don't want that to hinge on any one thing, or especially any one delicate thing. Guys, there are tenants that you might go in and buy a building, and man, you're getting sold. God, these guys have been in here for 25 years. They're not going anywhere, man. They've paid rent and yada, 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 all the great things. Maybe time for the owner to retire. When his lease expires, you may not get it. There's a lot of deals out there where there's a single tenant. It's a great tenant. Maybe it's some sort of a national credit-worthy tenant that's got properties all over the country. They've been in the building for 15 years, and they've got all these lease options to stay. Will they stay? You're gambling that they will, when at the end of one of those terms, they've got the option to be out. Every tenant has an out sooner or later. Every lease expires sooner or later, and those are risks. So anyway, that's touching a lot of the big ones. I guess what I really would want to close with, because I've been hearing this a lot, and I really want people to think about it. The real estate business isn't, what I'm going to say, it's not any higher risk than anything else. It's just like any business. You educate yourself, you make good, well-informed decisions, you execute on those decisions, and most of the time, things are going to work out in a positive nature for you. Doesn't mean they're going to hit exactly the way you expected them to hit, but they will move forward in a positive manner. Every other business is the same way. You've got to make good decisions, and you've got to be comfortable. But you have to know there's risk. Every deal that I've done has not been the grand slam home run that I wanted it to be. But I worked hard, stayed focused. I was willing to pivot along with the market and adjust, and every project I have is doing very well. Some of the timing and some of the things along the way didn't land exactly the way I expected, but they landed just fine. So be brave, be bold, take some action. Guys, this is a tougher market. Debt's a little tougher to find, it's a little more expensive, and the deals are a little tougher to underwrite. But they're still out there, so keep looking, keep practicing. If you need help, reach out to me, guys. I'm here to help. This is what I do. I hope this helps out, guys, and I'll see you again soon.